Welcome to our channel, where we explore the fascinating world of numismatics and uncover stories behind some of the most valuable coins in history. Today, we're going to dive into the remarkable tale of the 1988 1-cent coin, a piece of currency that has captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike. This extraordinary coin, while appearing as nothing more than common pocket change to the casual observer, has gained a breathtaking valuation of $182 million, largely due to a series of significant errors and mistakes that occurred during its production, a stunning example of how a simple error in the minting process can transform an ordinary piece into an extraordinary treasure sought after by enthusiasts. To understand the weight of this valuation, we must first dig into the circumstances surrounding the 1988 1-cent coin, produced by the United States Mint, which was charged with creating millions of penny coins for circulation during that year. The decade of the 1980s was a time of transition. The U.S. Mint was embracing modern production methods, and still, amid the mass production of these coins, small mishaps could, and did, happen, leading to the creation of error coins. Initially, the 1988 1-cent coin is characterized by its standard design featuring the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. However, the beauty of this coin, like many error coins, lies in the unique mistakes that happened during its creation, which would soon separate certain specimens from their regularly minted counterparts. One of the most notable errors in this series is often referred to as the double die error, which occurs when a coin die is struck multiple times mistakenly before being used to mint coins. In the case of the 1988 1-cent coin, this malfunction resulted in a noticeable doubling of features, such as Lincoln's silhouette, the date, and the inscriptions on the coin. This doubling effect can create a ghosting or blurred appearance, leading to a distinct manifestation that quickly piques the interest of collectors, especially those focused on error coins. The appeal of double-die coins is primarily rooted in their rarity and the uniqueness associated with each piece, and since only a limited number of these coins exist, they often fetch significant prices at auctions as collectors scramble to obtain them. It's worth noting that the 1988 1-cent coin didn't just stop there. Other errors emerged that further contributed to its desirability within the collector community. As we explore these various errors, we come across cases of misalignment and off-center strikes, where coins are not properly aligned with the striking dies, leaving them with uneven edges or missing parts of their designs altogether. Such faults create visually striking pieces that stand out, as they deviate from the uniform design typically expected in currency. Collectors often find off-center strikes particularly alluring because they symbolize a break from the norm and convey a sense of artistry and uniqueness that standard coins do not possess. Additionally, some specimens from this batch exhibit significant corrosion, which can occur when coins are improperly stored or exposed to harsh environmental conditions during the minting process. Corrosion can obscure fine details and create interesting patterns, adding further character and depth to the coin's history. This aspect of error coins sheds light on how the passage of time can lead to variations that make each piece tell a story, a narrative that deeply resonates with numismatists and enthusiasts who appreciate the charm of imperfection. Furthermore, the survival rate of these error coins plays a crucial role in determining their value in the marketplace. When we analyze the history of the 1988 1-cent coins, we find that many of them were made in large numbers. However, the errors that have been identified as valuable are very few, making them all the more coveted. For collectors, knowing that they possess a coin that is rarer than its counterparts can ignite a passion to acquire, trade, and boast about their prized possession, driving up demand and prices for these unique pieces. The rarity of error coins often leads to enthusiastic speculation, with collectors believing that an unassuming penny found in a jar or pocket may end up being a significant financial asset if it happens to display one of these celebrated mistakes. This enduring myth of the hidden treasure fuels the thrill of the hunt, an engaging narrative that attracts first-time collectors as well as seasoned numismatists alike. As such, it solidifies the reputation of the 1988 1-cent coin as not just another penny but a special opportunity for financial gain. In examining the marketplace dynamics, we discover that collectors and investors alike are increasingly captivated by the idea of making an investment in coins, specifically error coins. The allure of the 1988 1-cent dollar coin is that it occupies a unique niche within the numismatic world and intersects with the broader trends in investment and speculation. Over the years, investments in collectibles such as rare coins have gained visibility, with potential buyers often finding it desirable to diversify their portfolios with tangible assets that have the potential for appreciation. It creates an exciting interplay between collectors, investors, and casual finders, contributing to a rising demand for coins like the 1988 1 cent, with era manifestations that only add to their narrative and investment potential. The digital age has undeniably transformed how enthusiasts engage in coin collecting. With the advent of online marketplaces and social media groups dedicated to numismatics, the dissemination of information about coins, including era pieces like the 1988 1 cent, has never been easier. Collectors can easily research, buy, and sell coins at their convenience, facilitating a global marketplace that thrives on connection. As pictures and details of valuable era coins are shared within online communities, more people become aware of the potential value lying in ordinary currency, inspiring further participation in the hobby. This digital revolution allows for excited discussions about coin finds, valuations, and auction results, creating a vibrant environment in which the once humble penny can transform into a sensational story, capturing the interest of many. Additionally, high-profile sales of rare era coins in recent years have dramatically affected market perceptions. When the sales of era coins make headlines, they create waves of enthusiasm among collectors, leading to fluctuating demand and often causing prices to soar. The remarkable valuation of the 1988 1-cent coin is directly impacted by this phenomenon, as collectors and investors are motivated to chase unique opportunities similar to those celebrated in the media. The story of the 1988 1-cent coin is further enriched by the ways in which individuals become enamored with its potential for profitability. The coin isn't simply an investment opportunity, it becomes emblematic of the human experience, of dreams of financial success, the thrill of hunting for hidden treasures, and the serendipity of chance. As children and adults alike sift through their collections and change purses, the possibility that a single penny could change their lives or help them achieve their financial goals creates an element of emotional attachment to the hobby not found in traditional investments. Even when the pursuit of wealth is a motivating factor, there exists an intertwining of nostalgia, history, and excitement, all of which elevate each coin beyond mere currency. When we consider the statistics around era coins and their relative rarity, we can understand the story behind the immense valuation of the 1988 1-cent coin. As an example, precise estimates of the striking eras reported during 1988 are scarce in number, leaving only a select few in circulation. The law of supply and demand in action highlights how the scarcity of high-quality eras triggers significant competition among collectors, particularly for pieces graded and authenticated by reputable grading agencies. The rarity can exponentially increase worth as collectors and investors aim to own a piece of history rather than simply an ordinary coin. To obtain an authenticated 1988 penny precise enough to stand out among other circulating coins, collectors must navigate an often complex marketplace where certifications, grading tiers, and conditions factor into the final price. When compounded with the lavish stories attached to era coins, every component, from the minting process down to the storytelling that accompanies acquisition, becomes part of the overall appeal of the 1988 1-cent coin and, in many ways, transforms the act of collecting into an active journey that yields personal connections and memories to each respective piece. As interest in the 1988 1-cent coin continues to grow, the market remains dynamic, rife with speculation and excitement. Collectors may engage in trading, browsing online auctions, or visiting coin shows, all in pursuit of that unique piece that may have slipped through the cracks or remained unnoticed. The thrill of discovery remains a cornerstone of the numismatic experience, with collectors eagerly exchanging tales of their finds. It demonstrates how the world of coin collecting is continually evolving, where the past melds with the present and creates spaces for new enthusiasts to learn, participate, and share their fascination with era coins. The narrative surrounding the 1988 1-cent coin also speaks to broader themes within American culture, reflecting values related to financial aspiration and a collective appreciation for history. Last. Today, we're diving deep into the remarkable journey of a humble coin that has made waves in the numismatic world, the 1989 D1 cent piece. This seemingly ordinary penny has taken on an extraordinary value, estimated at a staggering $292 million, due to a range of fascinating errors and mistakes that occurred during its minting. While many people think of pennies as merely cents, this particular piece serves as a prime example of how a simple error can create an object of immense worth and intrigue. The story of the 1989 VDB Penny begins at the Denver Mint, where large-scale production aimed to produce millions of coins to meet the demands of the U.S. economy. In 1989, during the minting of these cents, a combination of factors contributed to a perfect storm of errors that would ultimately transform some of these ordinary coins into invaluable treasures. Among the key errors that collectors and experts eagerly seek is the renowned double die error, which is caused by the coin die being misaligned during the striking process, leading to a doubling effect on the features of the coin. In the case of the 1989 VDB cent, this resulted in fascinating variations, particularly noticeable on the date and the prominent image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. The doubling may manifest in subtle yet distinctive ways, producing an eye-catching ghosting of the date or content, and thus increasing the allure for error collectors who actively pursue pieces that exhibit such anomalies. The notion of finding a double die penny excites numismatists everywhere, and with a limited number of these pieces discovered, demand has skyrocketed, elevating their market value to remarkable heights. Another significant error associated with the 1989 VDB penny is the occurrence of what is called off-center strikes. This specific type of minting error happens when a coin is not properly aligned with the striking dies, resulting in incomplete designs or missing details around the edges. For the 1989 VDB cent, such off-center strikes could leave parts of Lincoln's image or the inscriptions poorly defined or even absent altogether. The scarcity of properly struck coins in contrast to those exhibiting faulty strikes adds to the intrigue, making those with substantial misalignments particularly desirable treasures for serious collectors. These coins can effectively show a unique history that captures the serendipitous nature of the minting process, emphasizing how even slight variations can lead to significant changes. Compounding the value further, some of the 1989 VDB cents exhibit a condition called die cracks, which occur when a crack forms in the coin die during operation, leaving a charming trace on the surface of the coin. These die cracks can vary in appearance from small hairline fissures to more pronounced lines, adding an individual character to each affected coin. Such features evoke a storytelling aspect that appeals to collectors who appreciate the historical background that accompanies every piece. It allows them to imagine the events during the minting process that led to those very flaws, giving additional value beyond the metal content itself. Moreover, many of these error coins often remain in circulation for years, allowing new collectors to stumble upon them seemingly by chance. The thrill of finding a penny in a change jar and discovering it might hold great value embodies the adventure that draws many into numismatics. Each new discovery becomes a unifying motivation, urging individuals to examine their change, navigate through rolls of coins, or even scour through old collections inherited from family, hoping that an unsuspecting penny might be a hidden treasure. The scarcity of error coins like the 1989 VDB cent encourages a culture of treasure hunting, where collectors can reminisce on the excitement associated with the hunt, fostering a sense of nostalgia and passion connected to the hobby. Speaking of rarity, it's crucial to understand how the overall survival rate of error coins shapes their valuation. Although the U.S. Mint produced a vast quantity of pennies during 1989, the number that displays significant error characteristics remains quite limited. A coin that initially appears to have a high mintage might actually yield only a handful of error varieties that successfully survived into the present day. This discrepancy plays a vital role in influencing demand among collectors, as those who seek to acquire a piece of the 1989 VDB cent narrative are always on alert for opportunities to obtain items deemed exceptional. When collectors are aware of the market dynamics surrounding coins like the 1989 VDB cent, the excitement surrounding its unique errors escalates prices significantly, creating an ever-evolving marketplace where scarcity undoubtedly rules. Additionally, the buzz created around high-profile sales within the numismatic community can greatly impact the perceived value of the 1989 D1 cent, as public enthusiasm for error coins spreads through various channels. Media coverage of significant auction results, where error coins fetch astonishing prices, sparks interest among potential collectors and investors outside of the usual sphere. As more people become aware of the high returns associated with error coins, the pool of individuals actively investing in pieces of numismatic history expands, thus enhancing the demand for specific errors like those found in the 1989 D1 cent. This momentous cycle can amplify the value of error coins to unprecedented levels, often resulting in new collector records being set. The 1989 D1 cent development continues to inspire narratives rooted in the micro-mistakes that can yield gold unless they are discovered in the world of coins. In our digital age, the rise of online communities and auction platforms has reshaped the landscape of coin collecting, providing tools for collectors to connect, research, and trade with ease. Collectors can now share photographs and information about their gently worn or error-strewn coins instantaneously, enhancing discussions about valuation, rarity, and history. In many respects, technology has democratized the trade of error coins, allowing individuals from all walks of life to participate in hunting for valuable pieces, irrespective of their geographical confines. This influx of new collectors further each their own approach to finding and appreciating coins, reinforcing a sense of belonging in what could otherwise seem like an elusive niche community. Moreover, as the community continues to flourish, members frequently exchange stories and experiences highlighting how one small finding has the potential to change the course of someone's collecting journey. The 1989 D1 cent serves as a symbol of the stories hidden within the folds of time. As word spreads about the value of these coins and their associated errors, we also experience a resurgence of interest in heritage coins, urging people to revisit their history and seek out pieces that tell meaningful tales. This rekindled passion has paved the way for a whole new generation committed to preserving the history embedded within the world of numismatics, leading them to appreciate not only monetary worth but also the stories and motivation surrounding each coin. In understanding the interplay between error coins and their valuation, we shouldn't overlook the significant role played by grading services within the numismatic marketplace. Professional grading offers a guarantee of authenticity and condition, protecting buyers and supporting their investments. Coins that receive high grades from recognized grading services can command prices far exceeding those of typical coins, as buyers are given assurance about the quality and legitimacy of the piece they are acquiring. For the 1989 D1 cent, authentically graded and preserved examples reveal their potential for appreciating in both monetary and sentimental value, further solidifying their position within the world of collectible currency. Collectors are increasingly aware of how grading affects prices, fueling heightened interest in acquiring graded error coins and propelling market prices higher. As the cycle of coin collecting continues to flourish, it becomes essential to highlight the emotional element inherent in possessing pieces like the 1989 D1 cent coin. Owning a rare error coin brings with it a great sense of pride and thrill, going beyond its monetary value. It envelops the history of the mint, a physical connection to endeavors undertaken by previous generations, and a tangible representation of the thrilling possibility to discover something extraordinary in everyday items. It resonates with both seasoned collectors and newcomers alike, as they appreciate what each coin can signify about their journeys and aspirations within the realm of numismatics. Ultimately, the enticing narrative of the 1989 D1 cent surfaces from its myriad errors and the possibilities each coin presents. This extraordinary valuation of $292 million is a testament to how the confluence of production mistakes, rarity, and storytelling culminates to create something remarkable. Whether it's the doubling of features, the excitement of off-center strikes, or the charm of die cracks, each nuance adds weight to the understanding of why this penny stands out against the backdrop of conventional currency. As we continue to uncover stories like that of the 1989 D1 cent, we invite all those interested in the world of coins to explore, investigate, and appreciate pieces of history that lie within their reach, be it from money boxes, change purses, or dusty drawers filled with forgotten coins. In doing so, you may just find your own hidden gem akin to the celebrated and extraordinary 1989 D1-cent piece. Thank you for joining us today on this exploration of numismatic marvels.